we're transitioning to video now.
All right. Hey everyone, Lisa Resnick, Homes and Hops, and I am with Stella Angelo. I'm going to make you say your original, I'm assuming your maiden name.
Yes, it is Kotsatos. So Stella Kotsatos-Angelo.
Kotsatos. And what is that? Italian, Greek?
Yep. So I'm Greek.
I'm
and
so bad
Italian.
at like the whole last name, like connection to nationalities or ethnicities. Sure. I have no idea. People are like, how'd you not know? I was like, everybody's a Smith in my mind. I don't know.
Well,
like,
a good way to tell
idea.
Greek is a vowel and an S. Look for that. And they always have like, the kind of the same ring to the ending. A vowel and an S is a dead giveaway for Greek. Yeah.
A vowel and an S.
Yeah. So mine ends in OS and there's a lot of AS. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Is there any tricks to any other names?
No, that's the only one I know because like I paid attention to it. Somebody told me that. And then I was like, no way.
And then
I paid attention. And then I was like, oh my God, that is like 90% time true. That's amazing. It's weird, but yeah.
There you go. Now we've just learned another little trick. That's awesome. So as I don't know who has seen The Real Tea, but Stella was on the business journal, The Real Tea with me. And as you can see from the background, Stella is the founder, creator of the Cake Boutique.
Yes.
So how long have you had the Cake Boutique up and running?
Yeah, so actually the Cake Boutique was started by Penny Bennett. She was a friend of mine. She was part of the Cake Boutique with me. But when I opened the store, it was like my baby. She came on with me, but I had the storefront. So we did it 2 years out of our homes. And like, it was funny because when we had like a wedding, we would go to her house and bake because she had the ovens on the wall.
The double oven?
Oh yeah, we could get like
I do think in life, if you have the opportunity to have a double oven, and I don't, but I wish I do. I wish I did. Like I think about it, especially the family meals and everything like that. Go for the double oven.
Oh yeah, we were so proud of that.
Start baking cupcakes.
Sure, we were proud of that double oven because we could get like 3 cake pans in or 3 cakes at a time instead of like just 2 or 1 or whatever. So yeah, so we started that in I want to say 2008. I joined up with her and then opened our storefront, which is in Howland, in 2010.
When did you start baking?
You mean for the day?
No, like where did this all stem from? Was it like watching Martha Stewart? Like what like where like your mom? Like where did this come from?
Yeah, so I've always had an artistic like inkling. Like I always liked art and things like that. Be creative. I like the freedom of that. But actually Penny's the one who came up with all the recipes and did all that. So but and they're ever changing because people are like on to different things all the time.
This is true.
So we're in the process of always coming up with new recipes, new things as wedding world changes and everything. We have to come up with new designs, new flavors, new concepts because anytime a star gets married or has a baby shower, we know it first because our clients bring this in and say we want this, just like
Jennifer Aniston
or whoever. Yeah.
Yes.
So we have to constantly evolve. We have to be able to do that.
That is true.
Oh, it's hard.
Is there any, like, are you seeing, because how they talk about fashion, how we bring back some of the different styles. Does that happen in the wedding world and the cake specifically?
Yeah, so it actually does happen. So when we first started, when I opened the storefront was during a recession. Okay. So it was 2010. Oh, wow. A lot of people in the area.
You're all about starting new things during difficult economic times. So, which by the way, just a little quick off topic.
Yeah.
Stella also decided to get her real estate license in 2020. So there you go. There's a trend here.
Yeah, there's a trend. I like make the best out of a disaster.
Yes.
I'm not going down like that. So anyway, with the Cake Boutique, we offered the faux cake because I don't know if a lot of people remember 2010, but that's when Delphi closed. A lot of jobs were gone. There's just a lot of things that were just changing in our city. And so we were like, people are still going to get married. They're still going to have birthdays.
This is true.
But we got to make something like cost effective for them to purchase because, no offense, they can go to Walmart, Giant Eagle, whatever. We wanted to stand aside. We wanted our cakes to look as beautiful as they taste. And we achieved that goal. But the thing is we did the fake cake. Okay. It wasn't art. We didn't make it up, but like we really focused on that.
Okay.
Where like one portion was real, the rest of it was fake. So they could have this beautiful, elaborate cake, but they weren't paying like $5-6 a slice. It wasn't a $2,000 wedding cake. And then they would get like sheet cakes or cupcakes to serve their guests. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
so
was really innovative.
Like I said, we did not start the trend, but we really enhanced it in our area because, we had a budget for everyone. And then what we would do is charge a deposit to get those wedding cakes back undamaged. We would clean off the top where their cakes were and add a new cake, and then we would do it half price. So if somebody liked, a cake, they would say, I want that, but can I change this ribbon to black? And we would say, sure, make subtle changes. And then, we really did well with that. And then of course, with every business, you go up and down. We had cake wars. We did cake wars.
So how did that come about?
So I'm very competitive, and Penny was too. Like she was just, Penny's no longer with us. She retired. So hey to Penny, who's probably in Florida right now. But it was like, I make the best of everything I do. And I said, here I am with this cake shop. I'm going to take it to the next level. I want to be on TV. I want to be on Food Network. So it was funny. I tried out for everything, every show. And I would always get we really, really loved you. But, we already picked our cast. And I was like, oh. So I had Cake Wars, the producer that ended up calling me back. He said, oh my gosh, it was between you and this person. And I promise I'm going to call you next season. Yeah. Okay. I heard that before, was in the back of my mind. And I was at my aunt's funeral, dinner afterwards. My phone rang and I'm like, who's this? California number? So I answer it and they're like, hey, this is so-and-so. Would you like to be on Cake Wars? And I'm like, so I'm screaming.
It's not always somebody trying to sell you on insurance.
Right. Right. Well, back then, actually, I feel like that's gotten a lot worse these days.
It's definitely gotten a lot worse.
Yeah. Then I don't think they really had our cell phone numbers, but here I am screaming in the kitchen of a funeral. People are like, what the hell just happened now? But, and so that's what started it all. And then being on Cake Wars was amazing. Just the rush and flying home, I was like, yeah, I'm not stopping. I'm going to be on another one and another one, another one. So I ended up being on 5 shows and QVC and got to meet Emerald and all that fun stuff. Cool. Delivered desserts to LeBron James's house. And
so what dessert did LeBron get?
Well, it was his wife's birthday. So they already have a cake person. And she's a Martha Stewart baker, but we did desserts like brownies, cake pops, cake balls, and cookies, and just things like that. The theme was purple. Like everything was purple. It was really neat. It was cool.
That is neat.
And we got to go to his house, which was the coolest part. I mean, I think everybody in our cake shop volunteered for that delivery.
I would volunteer for that.
They normally scatter on Saturdays, and I'm like,
are you sure I could put some in my car?
Yeah. Right. Everybody was lined up. Like, are you sure you have this? Because we can help. I'm like, nope, we got it. But
do you really think being on those shows also help catapult you to that next level?
Sure. I mean, it's fun because actually those are all the kids love that, the kids would come in and be like, oh my God, there they are, and it was so cute.
That is cool.
I would be at the grocery store.
Cool.
It was so cute. I'd be at the grocery store and people would be like whispering, and I'd say, hi, it was like, I got this much of what it was like to be.
Because you won too.
Oh yeah. We won.
You're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We didn't show up. We won. For that one. I can't say all of them, but
still, that's awesome.
It was fun.
How stressful is it for real?
So stressful. No,
so it's not just for show that we're seeing people run around. It's legitimately
absolutely.
Yeah.
What I've told people 100 times is I will never sit on my couch and judge a reality show ever again.
There you go.
So newsflash, don't do it, because when you're sitting in that hot seat, it's hot.
I feel like honestly, and I think I'm a fairly smart person, but I feel like if I was in that moment, I would freeze. I would, and anything that I would know or had planned, anything would just probably be out the door the moment they hit that timer.
Well, you know what? It happens, and people do that. I don't, thank God. But it was just it's stressful, and you just got to put them out of your head, even though they're in your face, and because each team has probably 6 or 8 cameramen, and those cameras are huge. And when you're doing something, they're like this up in your face,
Oh,
so
wow.
it is intense,
yeah.
But you just got to be in your zone and just they're not there, and just focus. And that's, I talk to myself a lot when I do that. I'm like, just to stay focused. I'm like, first I'm going to roll this out and then I'm going to do this.
So when they come over and talk to you, are you welcoming to them? Or are you like,
No.
seriously, you hit a timer. I have
Yeah.
20 minutes to create a 5-tiered cake and you want a conversation about what I'm doing?
Oh no, it's a hot mess. So Ron Ben Israel, he actually said it on Cake Wars. He said, I think we've been dismissed because they came over and they asked me like, why are you doing that way? And blah, 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 blah. And I said, you can only see this. You can't see what I'm seeing in my head.
Yes.
So just wait till the end and you will see. And he went, I believe we've just been dismissed.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then when we did Bake It Like Buddy was another show we did with Buddy Velastro.
Okay.
And Penny got sick. And she almost passed out. So they took her off camera, right? And I'm sitting there and, they're all focused on me now because the heat's on. The other people are like, yeah, we got this now. And I'm like, here we are. The structure was falling apart. We were making this zombie. Its head was falling off. Just all this stuff was happening.
Yes.
And they take her out.
Which also is perfect TV.
Oh, they could have made a series out of that one episode.
Yeah.
And it was literally a half hour long. And I couldn't
wow.
believe what they cut out. She went out 2 or 3 times. They called the ambulance. She refused to go. None of that was on air. And they said to me, so what are you going to do? And I looked at them. I said, what are you going to do? Are you going to give me an assistant or something? They said, no, you're on your own. And I was like, what? So I just
So you're like giving the salt and everything for Penny to be like, get your butt back in here.
I was like, no, but she was a trooper. Like she went out for a little bit and they gave her like cold rags. They gave her something to eat. And she'd come back in and I go, just sit there and just guide me. Cause in our mind, she had a job and I had a job.
Yes.
And we were doing our job together. Well, when she's gone, I don't have any idea how she was going to do her job because she had a plan,
That's right.
So I had to pick it up and I picked it up and I won it. I mean, I can't say by myself. I mean, obviously she came back and forth. Yes. She came in and out. I'm not going to say that, but I was so proud at the end when you said we won. It was like the best feeling.
It is a good feeling, isn't it?
Winning is amazing.
I mean,
yeah.
So Stella also mentioned before we went on air how one year she did a half a marathon. I mean, clearly she's definitely got some competitive issues, but 1 month for an entire year, you ran a half a marathon.
Once a month. I did. Yep.
Which is like, I am a runner. I don't think I would be able to do that. My body would be tapped out.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely amazing. But you think about these things and how we physically and mentally challenge ourselves. And when you succeed, it is honestly the greatest euphoric moment, like the high that you get from that. And that's probably what you got out of that.
Oh, yeah.
It does. It gives you that sense of like accomplishment. And then it also gives you that drive.
Sure. To keep doing it. Do it again.
Exactly.
I want more. And it's funny because I couldn't tell anybody that we won because we filmed in March and it was airing in June.
Oh, wow.
So I would train and I would be on my treadmill running and just hearing Jonathan Bennett say, you're the winner of Cake Wars. And just that feeling, I would be like running. And I'm like, oh, and I look down and be like, oh my God, I just ran 2 miles, not even thinking about it. But it really helped me. It really helped me train. It really helped me. It pushed me through like, oh my God. So I signed up in May for my first half marathon and it was going to air in June. So, I was still training and doing all that. And I was in the midst of everything. So that carried me until the show played and then got on the next year, so on and so forth. So yeah, running was a great out for me.
It is.
It really was. I need to get back at it. But
I don't know what my stress levels would be if I didn't run or have those challenges. Like I said before, to have everything in life is a constant go.
It is.
There is no ceiling. Like in yoga, there's always places to go, which is great, but that there isn't a ceiling that we can hit, and that we have broken through that. But sometimes it's nice to have a start and a stop. It's like running a race, finishing a book, like finishing a delicious cupcake. Like it's nice to have that, like that start and stop. happens. So I get it.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It is nice, and like you said, they do really go together. You know, like the euphoric ending, the announcing of your name,
Yes.
the looking at your cake, the thinking of, oh my gosh, like we actually did this, and
Yes.
and to hear these well-known people say our names was just fabulous. I mean, it's like priceless. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is
and it's bragging rights. You know, people say, you know, why do you keep going on and on? And first of all, because I love it. And second of all, to be honest with you, winning is nice, but it's so competitive to get on the shows. I won just being on it. You know, that's how I felt about it. I was like,
that is true.
I'm a winner now. I mean, flying to LA, filming the first show that I did, I was like, win or lose, I'm here. And this is good.
That is true.
And this is good. And I made a lot of friends that way. A lot of Cake World friends were all like unique, creative, just met a lot of people, and it was good.
That's actually a really good question. Like, you know, in the brewery world, the brewers, at least locally around here, I just absolutely love the fact that there is a connection amongst each other. Is that the same thing in the sugar world?
It is, really it is. And in this area, I mean, there's bakeries that have come and gone, and some of the bakers or bakery owners that had them are still around. Some aren't. And I've always been like, hey, I'm cool with networking. I can't do every cake, and neither can they.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I have no problem with referring things out. You know, I really believe in strong networking because you just never know. Like there's a girl that does lots of cookies in Warren. Okay. And she's known for her cookies. And she posted just like the other night, a week ago on Facebook, like, hey, I have this huge cookie order and I've literally been doing them for so many hours. Does anybody want to volunteer? I was like, hey, I'll come over and wrap cookies with you for an hour. Like, I don't care. But she had already gotten somebody. But, you know, it's like, why not? Like, why be mean? Like, who cares? Like, I'm a firm believer of networking. But yes, I follow a couple well-known, well, in the cake world, well-known sugar artists and cake artists. And I actually subscribe to their memberships because they're really cool. They give you a new tutorial all the time, a new recipe, fun stuff. And hey, if I got a question, those people are like on it. And they don't ever steer you wrong. Like they're very good. Like I love my cake friends. I do.
So something else about Stella is that she is a chemist.
Well, I have a chemistry degree. Yes.
So one of our brewers. So we have. Let's talk real quick about the beers that we have. So we have these beers. These are stout coffee based beers that we thought would be paired perfectly with the cupcakes that she brought from the Cake Boutique. So we have here, this one's the second one. So this is called Morning Grind, and this is like a vanilla coffee stout, and with hazelnut as well. So this is the project or the brewing project brewery. It's like in Wisconsin. So I will say if none of these work out or if they're absolutely perfect with the cupcakes, I did get these from Vintage Estates. So definitely, it is a vast variety of beer that they have over there, like statewide, nationwide, and locally. So if you have the ability to get out to Vintage Estates, definitely do it. And they are knowledgeable about everything that they have. So the other one that we have is Supreme Allied Commander. So this is R-Shea Brewing, which I've been there, and it is absolutely fabulous. Ron Shea, and this is what I was getting at, is also a chemist by trade before he went into the brewing world, which he is extraordinarily successful at the beers that he has. This is 15%, so we'll probably just have a sip of that one.
You're just going to smell that one, right?
And then, of course, keeping it local is the fact that the last one or the first one is Modern Methods, in which Stella tells me that she is very good friends with Adam, and her husband is a musician that was just there, right?
Yeah, my husband, Brian Angelo, he plays solos and everything. He plays solos now at Modern Methods. He was in a 3-piece band. But so Adam and Sarah, you need to come on here and bring your beers that we frequently get at your establishment.
I love like Dave Grohl Alley. Like
it's
the whole
so
vibe
cool,
is pretty sweet that they have going on.
Yeah.
And they have the outdoor seating now as well. And Adam also makes some insane insanely delicious beer. And this is one of their flagships, roast beef, the American Stout as well. So, which is pretty cool. So the chemist part, going back to the chemist, but so the chemist portion of this, I feel like that does transition well into the baking world, especially because of the precision.
Right. Well, baking is definitely precision. It's not like cooking where you just throw things together.
That's why I'm a much better cook than I am a baker. I get to a point of baking, and I'm like, nah, let's see what happens if I don't measure
What
this.
if I just do sugar instead?
I'll just keep pouring.
Let's
see what happens.
Well. I can honestly say that part of the job is not my favorite. I do not like the baking part of it. I like the creating the cakes. I like meeting with the customers. I like designing, and then I like making that come to life. But it's a lot of following the recipe, like you say. It's exact.
Yes.
Good tip for anyone out there who likes to bake. We do like to weigh everything, not measure, because it is more accurate, so if you're ever having issues with recipes or anything like that, try the weighing out method instead of measuring cups, even with liquid.
That's interesting. So that's 2 tips I've heard this week. So that's that's actually a really good tip. The other is when you're cooking meat, it's not about the time, it's about the temperature.
Yes.
So constantly just check the temperature versus actually going about the time in which a recipe tells you.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely true, because all ovens are different.
Yep.
Yeah. So if I bake a cake in my home oven versus my oven at the shop, I'm like, I have no idea how long it's going to be in there. I keep checking it, like you say, because that is the true way to tell if something's done. Correct.
I attempted to make a chiffon cake over the weekend.
How'd that go? I don't see it here.
I've never had a chiffon cake before, so I thought it was delicious.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But I've never had one before. But I will say that I clearly did not put it in the right pan because it was well over the height of the pan. So,
no, it's okay. That happens. You can trim them.
Okay.
Yeah, you can trim them. Sometimes
I just smashed it.
Well, yeah, you could smash it. You could do that. But if you were going to make it for somebody, what you could do is you could take a piece of fishing wire and you could follow your pan across, and it cuts it nice and sharp.
Really?
Yeah.
Tip number 3.
Keep me around.
I know.
For
real. I should have brought some of the chiffon cake with me, and you would have told me, because everybody was like, "Oh, it's good," but don't just be nice. So
I'm sure it was good. I'm sure it was fabulous.
But you're now in real estate.
I am, yes.
I know you're straddling both spheres, the residential and the commercial.
Yes.
I feel like you would, just meeting you, I feel like the commercial end is something that you would just completely excel at, and it is those things that you mentioned. You like meeting the people, you like the design portion, and you like being able to create.
Yes.
And I think that happens a lot in the commercial world, a lot more than people probably think happens, but you have to have a creative mindset.
Absolutely.
But the residential is fun too.
Residential is fun, and you turn those over more frequent.
Yes.
But commercial, it'll sit on the market for a while, and not even that. Even if it's under contract, it's just the steps that you go through to complete it from A to Z are different than a house. So it's more, you've got a lot of lawyers involved in those steps, and it's a lot of waiting on their end. And
it's always the attorneys.
we have lots that we love, so I'm not going to knock on attorneys.
We do love our attorneys.
It is,
but sometimes you're like, why does that word "of" really matter in that sentence that we are prolonging the process?
I'm not an attorney, and so I praise them. Thank you for doing your job for me. But yes,
she's much nicer than I am. No, I do. I love my attorney friends. They are absolutely very intelligent, very smart, but it is interesting the details in which, thank goodness, they pay attention to, and which I do appreciate. But sometimes I'm like, I feel like it's just one person's version versus another. It's like somebody putting on a shirt. Some people like it tied off to the side. Some like it tied to the center. But at the end of the day, it's still a shirt.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I agree.
But you have some space located.
I do.
By the Cake
Boutique. Yeah, it's actually suite number 3. We take up suite 1 and 2, and this is 3. So you could be next to us.
So I'm just throwing this out there. I think a coffee shop would be your perfect partner.
That'd be awesome.
Because I have mentioned to Stella, and I know Stella's not interested in having her own sit down little cake love place, but I do think if there was a coffee shop that was right next door, like the partnership between the two of you would be amazing, because people can get their cupcakes from you, and then they can sit down in the coffee shop and have I'll one up that and be like, not just coffee, but coffee and beer.
Ooh, we have to get a permit. Okay.
And
you're making this a challenge.
And so there's this trendy coffee place in DC called the Tryst. It's in Adams Morgan. Okay. And this one I remember, I was clearly over the age of 21, and I remember like having a Guinness with a shot of espresso.
Oh.
And it was like one of my favorite drinks. And then they also, of course, had their sweet treats in combination with what they offered. So
yeah, like Bailey's.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot you can do with that. So I'm just throwing this out there. We have a space, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anybody who's interested in the business.
Absolutely.
And doesn't want the sweet portion.
Right. I can handle that.
So there we go.
Yeah, if anybody out there is thinking of doing a possibility of doing that, I think it would be a fabulous addition to our plaza. We have the Cake Boutique, and we've got the Hidden Cafe behind us. And they're open by like they do parties and stuff.
Okay.
And
is
they
it
cater.
Called the Hidden Cafe?
Yeah, because they're hidden behind us.
That is awesome.
Wasn't it cute? Yeah, it is cute. But they used to be open. But you and then when all the things happened in 2014, they actually closed our road and were reconstructing the road, and a lot of their walk-in traffic didn't pick up. But anyway, so they do rent out. It's a really cute place.
Okay.
It is. I don't know if you knew Artwork by Beth. She did all the design inside. It's really fabulous. People can rent it, and you can like BYOB. You can bring for graduation parties, weddings, bridal showers, babies. I mean, they all constantly have a party going on. Anyway, they're behind us. And then there's Pretty in Ink next to us. Tattoo parlor. She is she's awesome. She's really good. And then next to that is Byler Elite Strength Training. So you can work out and get a cupcake and stop by and get your tattoo, or
you can sit outside, eat your cupcake, drink that Guinness with a shot of espresso, and watch people walk.
Yeah. Watch sweaty people walk by.
That's good for me.
Yes, that sounds good.
So let's talk about some of these cupcakes.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we should taste some of this beer with the cupcakes.
All right. Sounds good.
So I've been eyeing this one in the back.
Yeah. You like buttercream.
Oh, I do. So here, these are the almonds up on top.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, so that has a buttercream icing almond. So it looks like a white almond cake, possibly a blueberry filling. So
there is. Yes. I saw the little sneak of it on the side. That's really why I chose it. Because I love cupcakes with filling.
Yeah, most of ours come filled. You can always get a cupcake filled. So with us, here's how we work. We have tons of flavors. Okay.
Super good.
It is cakeboutiqueshop.com is our website. You can always call us. Our number is 395-CAKE. So it's really easy to remember. But we do have tons of flavors, and we can take any filling that we have.
Modern Methods one. I'm pairing it with.
We take any filling that we have and turn it into a filling in your cupcake. So the possibilities are really endless.
That's really good.
Oh, is it with this?
Yes.
This is really good. This is one of my favorites. Yes.
So I think that there's this opinion out there that sweet treats can't be paired with beer.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
It is really good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, still like stout as well.
I love stout. Yeah.
But I think you can pair the two together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that actually you can pair beer with any food, just like a wine or anything like that. The same thing can happen. And this is delicious.
Is it good? You like that?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's good. I'm like, is it good? Of course it's good. No. I want to try this one. Good. I'm excited to try this one. The Chemist beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Ooh, I can smell. Is this chocolate? Because I can
totally smell as soon as you cracked open the beer.
And it's salted caramel. No way. Oh, my goodness.
So is this one salted? Is that caramel, do you think? Or
that's peanut butter.
Oh, that's peanut butter.
And this is a cheesecake icing. This is a sugar cookie icing, cream cheese icing, and Oreo icing.
Ooh, I feel like the Oreo
with this one. Try that. Yeah, I think so.
Actually, I'm going to be really gross and put my finger right in there.
Here, I'm going to be even grosser and take out my gum. Is grosser even a word?
It is now.
Grosser. Okay, because this one.
I mean, you have the Urban Dictionary. You basically create any word that you want anyway. The way of the world today.
Mm-hmm. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, that is amazing.
Why does it have to be that strong? I
know
want
this is 15%. So
This
clearly
one
this
is-
exceeds
woo.
my 5%.
Yeah,
rule.
that's a lot, but that is good.
That is really good.
Wow.
And the last one is this is
one,
from
Morning
Wisconsin
Grind.
or Nevada.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but
It's a cute can.
the brewing project, it is really like I'm into.
I love their cans. They're so
like, the
creative.
art.
Yes.
There's like I love the fact that these local breweries connect with their local artists and they create art at the same time
That's
as
good too. That's really good. This is more definitely. I can see why Morning Grind. I can taste and smell the coffee.
Ooh, yes,
That's really good.
this is delicious.
They're all amazing, and I agree with you on the label thing. Like, I totally love the artist. They had Black is Beautiful, Modern Method.
Yes.
That was my favorite. Like,
Oh,
I
wow.
love that one. And just another plug for them. And I only reason why I'm plugging this because I know them. I like these other ones are fantastic. But Adam, over the weekend, I had a strawberry rhubarb seltzer. So they're doing seltzer now.
So that's also healthy because there's
good.
strawberry and rhubarb there. So
And so seltzer's water.
that's
right?
how I always justify it. And technically, according to health data, I believe coffee is now healthy again for you.
And so is chocolate, right?
So yeah,
Dark chocolate,
100%.
yes.
And in all honesty, I'll never forget sitting in a doctor's office and reading a charter, and it says something about ice creams, cupcakes, or whatever. Those are actually, of course, quantity control, but like those are also good for you. That they release like the happy endorphins as well. So
I could see that. Like, it makes people happy to eat it, but then they get upset when they eat it. So I feel like we got to balance that out. Maybe that's when you drink the beer. And
I
you
don't know if
forget
I've
about it.
ever gotten upset.
You've never gotten
upset. After really eating anything, I don't know if I've ever really gotten upset. So I mean,
I love it.
I do have a passion for food, like in
Food is
general.
good. Food is good. Food is good, and the beers are great. These are all three great choices.
I know.
I love them. I
So
love them
thank
all.
you, Vintage Estates, for the
Yes,
great
of course, that's
selections.
awesome. For sure.
I mean, they did really good. They represented well. They represented local, state, and nation. So they did really good.
Very good. Very, very good.
All right. So
I don't even know what
I can't
happened
even
to the
believe.
time.
I know it just flew by. I was like, "What time is it?" Real quick. But thank you so much.
You're
This is
welcome.
absolutely awesome. I
I had a
can't
great time.
wait to work with you
I know. Me too.
out there
me too.
in the world
Maybe
of the real
we'll
estate.
run a race together.
Oh, yeah.
Not a full, a half. I'm
Okay.
not doing a full. No.
Okay.
And you're gonna do your last one anyway.
I have my one more full.
One more.
I'm going to attempt the Youngstown Marathon.
You'll do it. You'll do
I figured at the end of the day, like I won't at least get swept. I might be like coming in at 10 o'clock at night, but at
You'll
least
be
like
fine.
there's plenty. They'll just be like, whatever, she's fine. She's in the park. Don't worry about it.
Right.
So there you go.
You'll be good. You'll be good to go. I think
All
it'll
right.
be fabulous.
Let's pick our favorites and cheers. I'm going to go with Modern Methods.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with. I don't have a favorite, but I'm gonna take another sip of this guy.
The chocolatey one.
Yes, the
Cheers.
chocolate one. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
So
It's
good.
amazing.
It is. Ooh.
See, it's at 115%. So which one is this one again?
That one has a sugar cookie icing. And so basically we take like a white Oreo and then we grind it up.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
yeah, it's so good. The cheesecake one is a popular one as well. The one over here.
I'm
and
trying to
that's
be
a
nice
cream
and not put my
cheese.
finger in all of them. So
Oh.
if they wanted to come in and try some, they can.
I'm telling them to eat around the finger swipe.